I love you too.
Hey guys, it's me, Miss Angel Baby. I'm back with another video. Today guys, I wanted to just open up about my alcoholism. I mean, I've talked about it here and there, but I've never really talked about it, you know. I never really talked about well, I really don't even know why I became an alcoholic. I'm guessing because I have an addictive personality, amongst other things. But I just want to share my story in the hopes that if someone else is suffering with alcoholism, you know, and they think that there's no way out, you know, I just want to show them that there can be light at the end of the tunnel. There is help out there. Even if there's somebody out there who has a loved one or a friend, you know, suffering from any addiction, any addiction, maybe it'll help you better understand, the alcoholism from an addict's point of view. So, and again, you know, this is my experience. This is my story. So, let's see. When did I start drinking? I think that I started drinking a little bit at an early age, probably like 15. But it was just like, you know, here and there, just partying, just, you know, doing it. But I really wasn't too much into it because I hated the hangover, you know, get some real bad hangovers, throwing up, and it's like, you know, so it really wasn't my thing, you know. So I would say right around the time when I turned about 24 years old, I had been 24 years old, I noticed that I started drinking more and more. Now, mind you, I met my husband when I was 23 years old, and when I met him, I really wasn't a drinker. I really wasn't a drinker like that. But I really can't pinpoint what it was specifically that just made me pick up the drinking more and more and more. But what I do know, it was just a way to cope. You know, I had a lot of memories of trauma, and I just noticed that a lot of the times when I drunk, it kind of just like numbed all the devastation, all the pain, all the hurt for that moment, you know. And I felt better, you know. I noticed when I was drinking, I wasn't insecure. I had more confidence. I felt like I can talk to people, you know. I can dance around. I just can just be loose, you know. And I felt so carefree. I felt happy, you know, in that moment. So I would just drink more and more. But it really, at that time, when I say more and more, because I usually would start off, maybe I do it once, twice a month. Then it went from once to twice a month. Maybe once a week. Then it went from once a week, twice a week, and then every other day, and then every day, all day. Now, how it got there, it was like a spiral. It was just crazy. And I'm going to go down the line, and I'm going to share everything. Okay, so what I noticed when I would start drinking little bit more and more, probably like I said, about 24. And I had this neighbor, and she was an older woman, and she lived with her husband. Her husband was an alcoholic. Well, they both actually were heroin addicts, but they were like in recovery. They were taking their methadone or whatnot. But her husband was an alcoholic. Now, her husband at that time was what I would eventually become. Not knowing at that time, that's what I would eventually become. I remember I have to go to the store, you know. I would ride, she would take me to the store, and when we didn't have a car. She was a nice lady. And she would say, I need to get my husband's drink, or, you know, he gets sick. And so I'm like, okay. And like every day, she would say the same thing. Oh, yeah, see you later, you know. She'd come by, you know, because I usually make coffee. Get coffee. Yeah, I'm going to go get his drink. Okay, see you later. Go get my methadone. Okay, see you later. So, as the years go by, I'm just drinking and drinking. And how everything started spiraling out of control, and everything started becoming a problem. It was around 2018. 2018. After we became homeless, we didn't have our kids. It just seemed like everything just started spiraling out of control. It became down to a point to where I felt like I couldn't focus. I couldn't do anything sober. Like, nothing. I couldn't do anything sober. So, and it was to numb. It was to numb the pain that I was feeling, numb all these just traumatic things that I'm just trying to just escape, you know. And what I'm not realizing at that time is that it's just making it worse. It's just making everything so much worse than what it is, than what it has to be. Okay, guys, I'm having so many different interruptions, but I'm gonna get through this. Okay, so, when I actually found out, or actually, let's just say realized that I was an addict, was the day I almost died. That day, it was a quiet day. I really hadn't been feeling well for the past couple of days because, well, I didn't know why at the time, but now I know it was because I hadn't drunk in 2 days. So, because I really was trying to kind of just lay off the liquor and just clean myself, you know, and try to cleanse myself. And I remember it probably was about 7:30, 8 o'clock, about 7:30 at night. And all of a sudden, I felt like this big pow in the back of my head. And it hurt so bad, and it was like a loud pop that I just like grabbed the back of my head. And it scared me so bad, so I called my husband. And I told him what happened. And I told him I was scared, and I told him my head hurts. And, you know, I told him I was just going to try to relax. So, he gets home, and, well, before he gets home, I asked him, I go, no, he came home. He came home. And I told him, I was like, you know, I haven't been feeling well. And then I remembered in the past, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and just try to drink something. Maybe it'll help. Maybe I can just like unwind and like kind of just settle down. I don't know. Maybe I can just do that. So I asked him, I was like, can you just go grab me like a beer or something? And he was like, yeah. You know, so we went and got it. And he left, and I don't know what made me do this. For some reason, I'm looking out the window, and then I hear him come up. And for some reason, I just cracked the door open. And then I'm like, oh, I gotta go to the restroom. So I walk in the bathroom, and all of a sudden, I know I need to use the restroom, but I don't know. I'm just turning circles. And I can't stop. Like, I know, like, at one side, I was like, I know I came to use the restroom, but I just, like, I don't know. Like, I really don't know. My brain just started doing something. And then, so I didn't go to the restroom. And then all of a sudden, I got like this, felt like this, when you get pressure to your head. And like this blood rush to my head. And then almost felt like a euphoric feeling. And then everything started getting fuzzy. And then when that happened, as soon as that happened, my husband walks through the door. And I told him, you know, I'm at the sink, and, you know, I didn't use the restroom. But for some reason, my brain is like, wash your hands. So I go to wash my hands. But I'm telling my husband, I told him, I said, something's wrong with me. And he's like, what do you mean something's wrong with you? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, something's wrong with me. I don't feel right. And then all of a sudden, I remember going to grab for the sink. And then I just started shaking. And then everything went black. When everything went black, it felt like it had to have been a second. I woke up to my husband just screaming money. Screaming and screaming. He's like, Angel. He was like, Angel, you had a seizure. Well, I don't see how like that could have happened. It just felt like everything went black, and then I was just awake. In this time when I was out, my husband, he's still traumatized behind it. He really doesn't like to talk about it. And he actually doesn't even know that I'm doing this video about my alcoholism. But I know that he'll be proud of me for, you know, telling my story and maybe helping someone else in the process. So while I was out, my husband called 911. And then he told them I wasn't breathing. And they told him to start doing CPR. So he said he started doing CPR. And at first, there was nothing. And then after a while, I just woke up. And he said he was doing it for a little bit. But it just felt like a second. Everything just went black. There was nothing. There was just like nothing. And when I woke up, I just remember being so tired. My body was hurting so bad. As soon as I got up, like I just sat on the bed. And the only thing my husband just kept yelling, you just had a seizure, you just had a seizure. As soon as I sat down, there was like a whole bunch of paramedics. Just all in my room, just everywhere. So they checked me out, did my vitals. You know, my blood pressure was high. So he told them to just, the the paramedics were like, just go ahead and take her to the hospital. So he took me to the hospital. You know, they observed me for the night. And then they started asking questions, you know. And they asked me, do you drink? You know, I'm like, at that time, I'm like, no. Is there like, yeah, because alcohol withdrawals can cause seizures. But they were adamant about it. I'm pretty sure that they knew, you know. But, so they observed me for that night, and then I went home. And, I mean, I was sore. I was sore for a long while. Not just that, alcoholism has almost killed me in so many different ways. I've had pancreatitis 3 different times. Pancreatitis is something that nobody, nobody. Oh my God, it's so painful. When I had it, I mean, the first time I had it, my pancreas level was just so much off the charts. The doctor came there and was like, you're very, very sick. Every time I've had it, I've always been in the hospital. I can't eat, can't drink anything for like a week. It's just, oh my God, it's just so terrible. The only thing I could do is suck on ice cubes and just on medications and IVs and antibiotics. And even all that still wasn't enough to stop me. Still wasn't enough. Then I had really bad fibroids. Drinking. Excessive drinking made them way worse. Amongst other things, but I'm pretty sure it was a big contributing factor. So I started getting really sick. Having lots of stomach pains. You know, we go get blood tests. The doctor told me there was something wrong with my red blood count. And they were trying to figure out what was wrong. And they told me that I had something called IDA, which is iron deficiency anemia. So I had these really bad fibroids, which I'm pretty sure the anemia probably caused it. And like with that anemia, it was so terrible. The paleness, the sweats, the just being sick and weak. And I couldn't get the surgery that I really needed because I didn't have enough iron. I didn't have enough blood. So the doctor naturally wanted to put me on first sulfate, you know, and put me on that every day to build my just to build my count up, build me up, my iron and everything. So that way, eventually, maybe I could be able to do it without having to get a blood transfusion. That was the hope. It didn't happen that way. Eventually, over time, I got weaker, and everything surrounds around drinking. Drinking here, you guys, is the common denominator behind everything that has happened. I got weaker, you know. I'm a woman, so things happen. I'm losing lots of blood. And one day I was just so sick. And I get to the hospital and they're like, we have to keep you. We have to give you a blood transfusion. And we have to do emergency surgery on you. Or you're going to die. Again, here I go. So, I'm there, emergency surgery. First I had to get the blood transfusion. They gave me a liter. I'm O positive. So, I was able to get my blood. And I got the surgery. Got the blood the next day, got the surgery. before they could even do the surgery, they had to get a couple of liters of blood. And what was really scary, me overhearing me and my husband overhearing the doctor say to another doctor, she needs more blood. She's not going to make it without more blood. And then the doctor came in, my husband was like, she going to be okay? Doctor was like, yeah, we just need to get her more blood. But I knew I was going to be okay that time. But when I had the seizure, I really thought that what was happening with my body, because I felt something different. But I thought that time, I thought I was going to die. Like, I thought I was dying. That's how I felt. I thought I was going to die that time. So I got the surgery, you know, and the surgery was a hysterectomy, a partial robotic hysterectomy. You know, after that I had a few complications, but I bounced back. But the worst of the worst, you guys think that was something? That was nothing compared to, well, I guess that's, like, just goes to show me, guys, that there's going to be a part 2. The neighbors' kids are going at it, so I will be doing a part 2, you guys. So you guys look out for that. Part 2 will be coming out tomorrow. Alright. Thank you guys for listening. Like I said, I hope that I can help somebody. I just hope and pray that something that I say can just get across to somebody out there. But like I said, next video is going to be part 2, you guys, okay? So I love you. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, you guys, peace out. See ya. Bye.